Somewhere, right now, a visitor is standing perfectly still on American soil. Not moving, not blinking. A stranger has just done something so unexpected, so biologically confusing, that his entire nervous system has ground to a halt. What did this stranger do? Buy him a coffee. That's it. That's the whole event. And yet, to the untrained eye, this man looks like he's just witnessed a magic trick performed by the universe itself. No cape, no smoke machine, just a coffee and a receipt he will keep forever. Welcome to the strange, poorly documented phenomenon known as American niceness shock. Grab your clipboard. We're going in. To understand this phenomenon, we must first travel back, not geographically, but psychologically, to the moment the myth was planted. For decades, foreign visitors have been raised on a very specific diet of information about America. Movies where everyone's either shouting, suing someone, or driving a car directly into another car, sometimes all three, in the same scene. News clips where the friendliest interaction anyone witnesses is a customer screaming about a return policy at a teenager who is paid $9 an hour and simply did not sign up for this. By the time they board the plane, the brain has quietly constructed a complete mental theme park of this country. We'll call it Everyone Here Hates You Land. Population, everyone. Weather, hostile. Mascot, an eagle, mildly annoyed, filing a complaint. This mental construction is what scientists call a schema, a fancy word for the story your brain made up because it was too lazy to check. And to be fair to the brain, checking is hard. Believing a TikTok is easy. So the schema gets built for free, using zero peer-reviewed sources, entirely out of vibes, outrage clips, and one guy yelling in a Walmart parking lot in 2019 that somehow still circulates today. A triumph, genuinely, of modern human laziness. Now, if you've ever caught your own brain doing exactly this, building a full opinion about a place or a group of people off nothing but a handful of loud viral clips, hit subscribe right now. Because that exact glitch in human thinking is what this entire channel exists to take apart, piece by piece. So, they land, braced, shoulders up, wallet held like a hostage situation, fully expecting to be swindled, ignored, or yelled at within the first 10 minutes of arrival, which, to be fair, is a statistically reasonable prediction in a small handful of specific cities we are legally advised not to name. And then it happens. A total stranger, no cameras rolling, no reward on the table, nothing whatsoever to gain, does something kind. Hold a door open a beat too long. Buys a coffee for someone they've never met and will never see again. Walk someone 10 full minutes out of their own way just to personally point at a hotel that was, if we're honest, visible the entire time from where they started. There is no immediate, "Thank you so much, that's so sweet." No, what happens instead is far stranger and far more interesting to us as documentarians. There is a pause, a full, visible pause. The kind of pause usually reserved for finding out a fact so large you need a second to reboot. That pause, right there, is the entire reason this video exists. What we're witnessing, scientifically speaking, is a textbook case of cognitive dissonance. The psychological equivalent of your GPS aggressively recalculating after you've ignored it for 11 consecutive exits. Here's the mechanism. The brain, over years, built an entire predictive model of what America would behave like. A kind stranger, acting with no incentive, was simply not a variable in that model. It wasn't accounted for. There was no folder for it. So the instant the kindness event occurs, the brain is issued two options, live, in real time, with absolutely no customer support line to call. Option 1, reject the data entirely. File it under fluke. That guy was probably an anomaly. Possibly not even human. Possibly a very committed actor. Option 2, update the entire model. Wait, hold on. What if I've built an entire worldview about 340 million people based on a handful of movies and one Reddit thread? This is not an exaggeration added for the camera. This is, biologically, a nervous system throwing a small, quiet, dignified tantrum because reality simply refused to read the script it had been handed at the airport. If this is the kind of thing you like, taking a small, weirdly specific human moment and cracking open the actual science behind it, drop a comment with the word schema right now, just so I know you made it this far. It genuinely helps this video more than you'd think, and it lets me know to make more of these. Now here, dramatic pause, slow zoom. The works is where this documentary gets uncomfortably real for a second. If a fully grown adult can be reduced to stunned silence by someone simply being decent to them, that tells you something quietly damning. It tells you the story they were sold about this place was measurably worse than the actual place. Somewhere between the algorithm, the outrage economy, and 40 years of films where everyone is yelling in a parking lot, the narrative rotted a little faster than the truth ever did. And before anyone gets smug about this being just an American thing, it isn't. This is a human brain thing, full stop. We do this constantly, about other countries, other religions, entire political parties we've never had a single actual conversation with. The neighbor down the hall we've never spoken to, but have fully, confidently decided is probably weird. Brains build schemas out of whatever is loudest available, and outrage is always louder than kindness. Kindness doesn't trend well. It doesn't get the algorithm excited. Kindness just quietly buys someone a coffee, says nothing, and walks off, ruining a perfectly good, decades-old worldview on its way out the door. And so, as the sun sets over this remarkable land of eagles, mild parking lot chaos, and unreasonably large soft drinks, our visitor boards a flight home a changed person. Somewhere over the ocean, the brain quietly files a correction into its permanent record. Update. Some of them were nice. Unclear why. Cause unknown. Further investigation is strongly recommended. This story will be told at dinner parties for years to come. It will, scientifically speaking, get about 11% more dramatic with every single retelling. So that's the actual psychology behind why one small act of kindness can completely short-circuit a person's entire worldview. Subscribe if you want more of these. And tell me below, what's one thing you were completely, confidently wrong about, until reality rudely, personally interrupted you to correct it?